I don't know if I can swap this camera around, so let me try and see. Man, it does not look that way. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right. So how are you guys doing? I am out here doing some production, and I thought it would be a decent time to just jump on and do a live like usual. So I'm doing it. So we'll see who decides to jump on. I am going to bring up YouTube over here so I can watch comments because I can't see it here on my phone. Hey Rye, I think I saw you pop on. How you doing, man? Just getting ready to. I'm in the middle of some production and some of the guys were asking questions, so I thought I'd do a live. So I am trying to jump on so I can see what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. Now I just need to do the mute. All right, we're muted. Now I can see comments. There we go. There's Rye. How you doing, man? Let me jump over here. And then I'll get over there and get things going. Laser? No, this is, we're doing, you may have seen the video. I did a video about 2 years ago on face adhesive graphics. So adhesive or graphics that need to be applied like to the inside, like of a window, for example. So you want the printed side to be adhesive. So I'm just doing one of those productions right now. So figured it's a good time to jump on. So yeah, a little more boring, but I do have, no, I don't have laser stuff to do today. Do have some more patches to do. So yeah, if you want, send over whatever logos you want, and I'll do a couple for you. These are adhesive back, so you can stick them on shirt, cap, whatever you want to put them on. So. Oops. That's interesting. Why? Oh, okay. So let's try this again. So I need to get out of full screen, go back over here, see if that works. And I will jump back and see if you're commenting or not. Well, for some reason, my paste is not working. So, let me go over here. Sorry, it's taking a little longer than normal to get this going, but that's what happens, right? Alright. Now, let's try that. Alright. Get back over here. And go on here. All right, that's a little better. Now let me bounce back over here. All right, so who else jumped in? I saw somebody else jump in. So, still listening and, oh, okay, cool, driving. So yeah, so I just laminated this one. Here, you can't really see, can you? There we go. Just laminated this one. And actually what I'm going to do is I'll bring the camera in a little bit. So you can kind of see what's going on. Alright, so So these graphics have already been laminated with white over the top of them. I've already got my tape laid down, which we'll go through that process again. So what we need to do is cut through the top layer. Go ahead and remove this masking tape. Go ahead and we'll cut through the top layer of vinyl, the white that we laminated, and then we'll remove the tape. And what that'll do is expose, whoops, that'll expose the registration marks for cutting the vinyl. Whoops, for cutting the vinyl. It's amazing when you get off your norm, and it's a little bit more work than typically, since I've got other stuff in my head. So yeah, like that. That's more normal. And then we'll remove the masking tape, and we've got the registration marks that the Graphtec will read to be able to cut out the graphic. I can show you, I've got one over there. I'll just finish going through this process on this one. Now this one went a little easier because I already had, yeah, the white didn't completely cover the marks, unlike some of these other ones, they did. So that is the basic process, at least part of it. Again, I've got a video from about 2 years ago. If you kind of search this subject on my YouTube page, kind of walking through this whole process, but I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to go live and chat with you guys. Yeah, if you're, I can see the chat now over here. So if anybody wants to make a comment, I'll know you're here. All right. So what I've done so far is we've done that process on one full sheet and already cut it. That's what some of the people on Discord have already seen. Then I just laminated the white. Well, taped over the registration marks, laminated the white vinyl on these two, and then just trimmed away the white vinyl over the registration marks to expose them again for cutting the whole graphic out. So I'm going to continue that process and get all those ready, and then we'll stick them all in the cutter and get them all cut. So here's our print, and again, let me zoom down. There you go. You can kind of see a little better. So we printed this. We printed all these graphics in reverse on clear. So that way, when we put the white over the top and we cut it out, the back side will be the front, and it'll be sticky. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're basically just cutting these down, and the reason I've got them sized this way is I'm using 30-inch 651 white as my lamination, and so that allows me to basically size it appropriately, and then gives you more manageable pieces to work with. So you could always go bigger if you've got a bigger piece of 651. If you got a 48-inch roll, you can do more prints at a time. I find this more manageable. So. And we're only doing like 1,000 of these. There's 1,000 of them, but they're different. They say different things. So I think there's like 250 of one type, 300 of another type, and 300 of another type, somewhere in there. So that is why I've got numbers written down on here too, so I know which cut job it is, since they are slightly different. So hopefully that all makes sense. Like I said, if you're joining in, make sure you make a comment so I can see what's going on. Wait, what? Wait, what? You don't understand? What part don't you understand, Rye? I'll be happy to go over it. Let me get the camera back on what's going on so you can kind of get a better idea of what I'm doing. So basically, I'm just cutting some, I'm using 2-inch masking tape, and I'm just cutting about a 2-inch piece. And then I'm laying it over the registration marks kind of at an angle. I just find that that gives me the most readability for the cutter. So that one's marked and ready to be laminated. I say laminated, right? We're laminating it with white, so not regular laminate. So we'll mark all the corners, mark all the registration marks. And I'm telling you, the frickin' bugs, what are they called? Ones that bite you. Not gnats, but mosquitoes. The mosquitoes, man, they are bad. I am getting bit up. So let's see here. Looks like I need to get some more of my 2-inch masking tape. I don't use it very often. All right, so those two are marked and ready to be laminated. I'm gonna wander back over here for a sec and check the chat. What you just said, it's backwards. What did I say it's backwards? Which part's backwards, right? The way the graphic's gonna be shown? Actually, I've got some cut. Let me grab them real quick. So these have already gone through the process. So I've already laminated these and they've already been cut. But if I peel one of these off, you can see, let me do it this way. You can see that's the print side, or that's the sticky side, but it looks readable, right? So you can apply it to the inside of the window and you'll be able to see the graphic. Does that make sense? Again, I've got a video a couple years ago walking through this whole process, so you're welcome to check that out. All right, so let's grab the next set. Let's see. Got too many jobs sitting here. All right. This is the next one. Did I label that one? I probably did. I did not. So that one is 5. Okay. This one's 6. I'm assuming 7. And again, I'm just using those as reference since I didn't do barcodes on these for the Graphtec to cut them. All right. So we'll take our white. Let me move the camera again so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, so I lay my white down. Make sure I get a good straight cut. It's cut, but apparently not all the way through. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just line this up with one edge, one side, just past the registration mark. And I'm just going to tape this down. And basically I'm just creating a handle for laminating. you'll kind of see what I'm doing when I get around to the other side. And that's what I get for going live, because I'm doing things out of order. Because I was supposed to be covering the registration marks, not sticking the white on there yet. So we'll flip it back over, and we'll cover the registration marks like we were doing earlier. It's always funny when you get out of your normal routine. Things don't go quite the same. You know, it's kind of second nature. You don't even think about doing it when you're doing it. But when you stop or you're trying to explain it, sometimes it messes with you. Like this case. I'll jump over and check the chat here in a second too. So I can see what, if you guys are saying anything, asking questions, being smart butts, what. All right, so those are taped up. The white's ready to go. All right, so now let's go back to our order. Now this one needs to get taped up. Let me jump over to the chat real quick. Let me balance this up a little. All right, I'm about to lose you going through Yosemite. All right, man. Well, have a good one if I don't see you, Rye, or if I lose you. We jump. That's bizarre. There we go. For those of you guys on Discord, I'm not able to watch Discord, do this, stream, and watch YouTube, so jump on YouTube and message me there. Otherwise, I'll be able to respond later. Okay. Sorry about that. I am back. So, we're back to taping over the registration marks. And as some of you, especially some of you from Discord, are well aware, if you had the ability to do multi-layer printing like a UV printer, then this would be pretty easy to do without having to go through all this stuff. You could just be printing on white. In reverse, you could lay down a white layer and then do your print. Or even if you wanted better knockout, you could do white, black, white, and then your design, and obviously end up with a much easier solution to this. But for those of you doing it this way, or that want the ability to do it this way, this is the way to do it. All right, so back to that. Lay out some more white. For the lamination part. Okay. Good. Again, I'm just going to line up with one edge so I only have to trim one side. take that down. Alright, now we can flip this, trim off the extra white that we don't need. And that one is, whoa, sorry about that, guys. That one is ready to go over there as well. Alright, so now these others are ready to do. So let's move them on over. Do the same process. Lay this down. Roll it out. Trim down the white. And I know this is the kind of boring part, but I will jump on the lamination part just after this, and you can see how that works. I'm sure most of you are familiar enough with the way it works, but I know a lot of you are like, what? What is he doing? Multi-step processes. Like I said, more complex than it would be with a few other printers. I'll bounce over and check the chat here in a second. I'm sure I probably might have missed something that one of you guys is saying or asking. Alright, so these have already been laminated. So yeah, let's these are ready to cut. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run one of these through the laminator so you can see the process to kind of get them to this stage. So let me move the camera. Whoop. Sorry about that. All right, so let's put it like right there. Hopefully that makes more sense. All right, so hold on, let me bounce back. Sim, hey man, how you doing? Have you ever used double-sided lam on top of regular stickler? I'm not familiar with double-sided lam specifically, so no. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, man? So I'm going to grab one of these that we just prepped. So again, this is what we put the masking tape on the front to cover the registration marks. Then we taped on the white, which is what we're laminating, right? And it gives us our hinge point. So I'm going to feed in a little bit of this into the machine. Flip that up and over. Again, this is just my method. And then we're going to come down, fold that in, and peel back the backing paper on the white vinyl to get that started. And we'll feed it through. So basically, again, we're basically just laminating the white 651 to our clear print, and it's creating our white back, since we printed on clear, in reverse. So there we go. Now we'll come back around to the front, and I'll walk through the trimming process again. Alright, so let me dump this in the trash. Alright. So, we've got this down. So I'm just gonna peel off that tape that we used to tape to give us our hinge point. And then I'm just going to take my blade and I'm going to do a real fine trim on the white around the masking tape. And again, you don't want to go too deep because we don't want to cut through the clear layer, right? We just want to cut through that top layer, that quote-unquote laminate layer. And in our case, that's the white. So once the white's pulled up, then we can grab the masking tape that we used to cover the registration mark, and we're left with our registration mark and our clear. Now if you've got really great eyes, you can skip the tape. You can skip the tape process, right? If you can see the registration marks really clearly and give yourself enough margin to do the cutting, then you don't have to use the masking tape. I just find that it helps for me, adding a little bit more thickness and, you know, an easier block to trim along. I do recommend you keep a sharp blade, and again, do not push hard, just do a nice fine drag to cut through the 651 only. I think I heard a message, so I will go and check here in a sec. Sometimes you cut deep enough and sometimes you don't. It's like I'd rather be safe and not cut deep enough than cut through the clear and lose my registration mark. Alright, so that one is now ready to cut. So we're going to go through all the ones that we've laminated and get them prepped in the same way. That one's ready. Well, we only laminated that one, right? I stopped just to show you guys how that works. So let me go back around and we'll go to the lamination again. All good? Yeah, all good, Jimmy. Sorry, I'm moving the camera all over the place and not quite visible, but hopefully it works for you guys. Let me see here. Let's go with another one. And really, you know, another way you could do this is rather than doing the tape on and the hinge method that I'm doing, you could just preload 651 on your laminator and just use it like laminate. That's always an option, so don't feel like, well, keep that in mind anyhow, because the process I'm going through could be a little bit more work. It really just depends on how many of these you've got to do. So, because I know when I've done many thousands, I've just done it that way. And it's just easier just to have it on the machine and use it like laminate. So, just in case that question comes up in your mind. It's like, well, why is he doing it that way? It's not a big enough job that I felt like loading it on a laminator and using it that way. Also gives me a little bit more, well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say it gives you a little bit more control on placement and the use of the material. And I am a little bit low on this, so you definitely don't have quite as much waste as if I was doing it on the laminator. You know, had the material running on the laminator. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, pull this one up. What's up, Craig? How you doing, man? Good to have you guys jumping on. All right. Now, let's see, we've got... oh, that sucks. Oh, there we go. Looks like we've only got one more. Uno más. Alright. Hey, sometimes grabbing that paper is tricky. It's like I can't quite grab the edge. Thus the blade to try and help grab it. There we go. Well, I say that, I got it, and then it popped back down. There we go. Let's see. And I believe this is the last of these. All right. Let's come this way. All right. So again, we're going to walk through the process of peeling that tape off and re-exposing the registration marks. So let me get the camera a little closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And again, this is part of the process. So just removing the tape, that part's not a big deal. Again, give yourself a nice sharp blade. So you don't damage your clear. You're only cutting through the one layer. Come on, give me some comments over here. I need something to chat with y'all about. What are you guys up to? Taking a break in the afternoon, just watching me? Alright, so that one's ready to cut. And again, the reason I put the tape on a diamond on an angle is just that, you get a little bit more surface area to expose the registration marks this way. A little bit more travel. Plus you clear the corners of the graphics easier. I'm trying to do it square. I used to do them square, and I just found that this makes it a little bit quicker and easier. Alright, so another one done. Next, I think we've got one more, two more. I believe two more to do. Nope, one more. This one apparently has a little exposed adhesive on the white. We'll turn that out of the way. Sorry guys, I'm sure that was a little loud. My regular phone is muted, but the office phone number is ringing through, so. Yeah, let me know what you guys have got going on today. We need to get back out, and we've got another, we did a commercial tint job, actually including some removal on the building about 2 weeks ago, and now they want to add another set of windows. So I need to get out there sometime. I was going to try and get out there this week, but it's not looking good so far. And then we've got a lot of regular production tomorrow, and another dance floor wrap in the morning, and then another one Saturday morning. So all right, now let's see where we're at, y'all. Let me get back on the cam, and let me see what's going on over here in chat. Craig, spent the day tracking down materials for a customer been sick. Oh, well, that's good. I mean, it's not good, but whatever, right? You know what I'm saying. SEO marketing. Well, that's always good. SEO marketing is always good. See you, Jimmy. Have a good one, man. First day of fall. Is it first day of fall? Man, I wish it was fall. It's funny, here in the DFW area, it was really nice last week. I mean, it only got into like the low 90s is the high, and like the nights got down in the mid 60s, which is really nice. This week it's back to 100 and, you know, only gets down to like 76, 77 at night. So it is what it is. All right, so this is number 5. So what we're going to do here, I'll get you, I don't know if you'll be able to see everything going on, but you kind of see the process. So now that we've exposed the registration marks, you can get it loaded and lined up in the cutter. And then let me move this so you can kind of see a little better. Yeah, so you can see the registration marks exposed. So we'll line up, we'll home it, come back over here and find the job. And it looks like I closed my, hang on. Looks like I closed it down. Hey, from Ireland, AD. How are you, sir? I actually do have a little Irish and Scottish in me, my mom's side. They were mostly Irish-Scottish. I still don't know how much, but and then of course the other side is Italian, so that's the last name. Okay, so this is number 5, so that's going to be 1, so it's going to be my job 4. All right, and we'll go to there, and we'll send it over. And we'll see if it reads the registration marks, right? Okay, so it's reading so far so good, as I expect. I mean, I've already gone through this process, so a lot. And that is it. So I am not perf cutting it, and I'm not cutting through the backing. I'm only cutting through the top layer. They don't like them cut to shape. So we end up trimming all these down by hand, which does take a little bit more time, but that's the way they want it. They sell, this is for a police station in upstate New York. So we've been working, I think this is our 7th year working with them. So this would be the boring part, right? We've got to do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more after this one. Total of 7. I do have it running a little slower than normal too on the cuts. So what about anybody else? Hopefully not everybody else is sick. Although working on SEO and marketing is good too, if you are. Shielding bonfires, man, yeah. That won't happen for us probably until gosh knows when. I remember one year about, God, I'm trying to remember what year that was. I ride motorcycles, haven't really much in quite a while, but it was still up to almost 80 degrees in January. It was crazy. Put the yellow or the white away. There we go. Now you can still kind of see, and you get my ugly mug too. Try to get these prepped. Come on, give me something. All right. So bring this over. We'll do a quick weed. Weeded. So, and again, you can kind of see that the end result is you have a white, and you can't see that. You have white adhesive printed front. So you can apply it to the inside of glass or inside of whatever you want, but obviously glass would make the most sense, right? They're actually using them on windshields of cars, so. Thus the purpose for them. Okay. This is number, what was this, number 6? Yeah, number 6. Let me bounce back over here. Go to full screen. Job number 5. Go to there we go. Oh, I'm missing a comment. Hang on, let me bounce over there. See what the comment is. My day is finished. Feet up in front of the fire. Busy day printing. Ah, very nice. Very good. I'm gonna have to watch this from the beginning to understand the process. Hey, Craig. I do have. If you do a search on my YouTube channel list on my videos, I did a video 2 years ago on this process. So it's more of a walkthrough, obviously, than what I'm doing right now. So take a look for that. Come around that way and put this over here on the other table. Yeah, good, Craig. Yeah, check that out. I think I even called it a similar name, something about adhesive face graphics or face mounted graphics, I believe is the title, but it, like I said, it should be about 2 years ago if you just scroll through my videos. So hey Craig, so you got a fire. So what's the temps like there? I think it's like, let me see. Yeah, it's like 90, 96 here, so. No, 98. 98 here, just updated. Fahrenheit. Wow. Yeah, that's not cold in any stretch, but it's definitely cooler for sure. What time is it there? It's 2 o'clock, 2:15 here, 2:18 here. I'm in Texas. Hey, Ohio weather. Yeah, that's Dallas weather. I mean, we've gone. I think my record was still when I was at school. Went into school in the morning and it was 87 degrees, and when I came out at lunch at noon, it was like in the 30s. So it was like insane. 2020. Okay. So basically 8 p.m., 8:20 p.m. So you're 6 hours ahead. Six hours ahead is really not that bad. I would have thought you were more than that. Do have another local friend, motorcycle guy. He's a racer. He's from Ireland. He goes back every once in a while, but he's been here for work and he loves it, so he stays. Craig, it seems to be definitely helping. Because I only did the one area rather than multiple areas around the sides, my flow is pretty limited. So I did end up removing the pre-filter, which was the MERV 11 filter, and just running the carbon filter, because really that was my main point for that. And I'm getting better flow with that, so it seems to work pretty well. I mean, I don't have much. It's only on that really heavy print days that you really get some of that smell, right? But it's definitely reduced. Load number 7 in. Yeah, I would say if the scent was a bigger issue for me, and or I was willing to give up a little more space, I would have built it almost the same way, but just deeper, so I could do 3 filters, do the sides, do 3 sets of filters, do the 2 sides and the back. Actually, I might even add the top, because my big one that I built for out here in the shop, that one actually does have 4 filters. So that one's actually under the extension for my table saw as well, and that one runs 20 inch by 20 inch filters, so quite a bit bigger. But I've got a larger fan, obviously pulling the air. But then I've got 3 filters around the side and then 1 on the bottom. So there's 4 filters in that one, and it has no problem flowing air. Now that one's not set up for carbon. That one's just set up for dust collection and keeping it clean in here. But I would probably do that if it was more of a concern, is just build it deeper, and go ahead and do at least 3 sets of filters, or 3 filters, if not even a 4th. On the top, because it would be a whole lot more efficient. You can flow a whole lot more air with those extra openings. Let me start this next job, and then I'll bounce back over and see what I'm missing in the chat. Alright, what's the media loading method for the cutter? I've always put my fingernail on registration marks and lined up the front metal on the cutter. Also, how do you tape your tensioners down to keep the tails from flipping and kicking? I can try and show you that, but, you know, the tail problem is only really there when you've got like a tight rolled piece, right? That it's still got that memory to go back that way. Most of our stuff isn't like that, but some is. And that's probably why you're seeing it too. But all I used is, I've got gaffer's tape. I don't know if you're familiar with gaffer's tape. But I just use some gaffer's tape to tape it down. And it works generally okay. Every once in a while, you know, we try and stay out here when we're cutting. So if we hear it pop or hear one of them pop, then we'll obviously hit it as quick as we can to keep it from getting alignment off. Oh, as far as alignment, so yeah, so alignment, typically all I do, and it's the way I've done it forever, is, you know, where you've got your angle line right here. When I'm loading it, I just load it along the aluminum edge. Let me get back over here. I just load it where it's along that aluminum edge, and then I look down the rail and do the same on the other end, and then I lock it in place. Then I do a load, and then I'll move it up to its spot for reading the registration marks, and I've almost never had a problem doing it that way. So hopefully that works for you if you've got problems with registration. Yeah, Craig, exactly. I mean, yeah, it'll do it to you. What's up, Eddie? Still back? Cool, man. Yeah, those things going clank. What stinks is my old version, I think it was the Graphtec 6000? Or was it the 7000? I think it was the 7000 that I had from like 2008. That one, the release wasn't the same. It was up on the top, so there wasn't a way for that thing to get hit. So we never had that problem with the old cutter. Which is one of the problems that presented with the new one. Yeah, it'll get you jumping up when you hear that pop, especially if they have more than one hit, and it goes pop pop pop, or you can hear the clanking all at once. Luckily, I'm pretty fortunate. Typically, I only have like one end or the other do it. It's not like the whole thing. But yeah, I just actually feels like I removed the tape. I've only got tape on this last one, and it's barely holding. So. You know, and depending on the amount of pressure, it'll push that tape right up anyhow. It's not permanent, so. Keep wanting to speed this up, but I know this stuff cuts better a little slower. It's like I make it where you guys can see and I'm so far away, but that's what I get for doing this on the phone today instead of on the camera. But usually I'll use my system, and then I've got the big TV set up back there that runs comments, so I can kind of see from across the room. But not today, since I kind of threw this up quick. So this is number 2. Sticking to the other freaking job. Almost lost one. Almost lost one. I did print extra, so it's not like it's a big deal. There's extra in the batch. Alright, so this was number 2. Yeah, number 2. Come on. Alright, so 2 more to cut after this one. Let me jump back over so I can see comments. Alright, so no comments. Alright, so we're all bored. That's fine. That's fine. Be that way. Hour, a little over an hour. Not too bad. So I'm figuring the whole process probably be an hour and a half-ish. So other than the printing part. And normally that would have been a little quicker for me just because I was stopping and not doing the normal process that your memory, your auto motion usually does. Honestly, I could be cutting some of these down while I'm standing here too, but so give me a like too. You know, if you care, you know, give me a little like so at least I get some credit for the good old YouTube. AD, so yeah, things changed during COVID. Semi-long story short was in a shop for 15 years. In January of 2020, signed the lease on a new space, almost 2.5 times larger. Spent 2 months remodeling said space. Moved in the middle of early March, and COVID hit like less than a week later and lockdown. And we did like $400 in sales in April. So they let us out of the lease. I had to throw away 2 months worth of remodeling and moving the company twice. Had to gut the home garage and the home office and get two 30-foot storage units and move everything home. So, yes, we've been back here since roughly April, late April of 2020. It's been a blessing so far. It's been interesting, but you know, space has become a bigger issue, obviously, but it's all managed. And until I can afford to buy land and build a building, I'm not going to throw money away again. So we'll stick with this. All my customers going back to the late 90s don't care. So, and most of their referrals don't care. So I'm good. Luckily, I've got some friends that I can rent space by the day with their air conditioned and heated for doing bigger wraps that I can't fit here. So when we have trailers and bigger trucks and stuff like that, bigger vans, then I'll go use that space. So, as far as help, yes, I don't have my regular help that I would normally have as often. Now I have helpers that are available when I need them, and my wife helps me with certain small things that I would normally, like one of my old guys was just kind of my gopher kind of guy. He did like whatever I needed done. So my wife helps with that when she can. And I've got good friends in the business that help when needed to, and contract helpers as well. So that's how things are done now. Yeah, thanks, Eddie. I don't know about all the secrets. It's weird, it seems quiet in here because normally I've got the air filtration system running, which gives me a little bit more white noise. And then also I've got a small DJ PA system that is usually playing music. So for the times that I'm out here much. All right, this is number 4. Let's go back over here. So after this, there should be just the one, which should be job 3. Oh, and going back to business issues, about 35% of my business before COVID was the event industry, and one specific niche in the event industry that all but stopped, basically. It's that particular part of the business is picking up again. Dance floors, which we also do a lot of. We do 2 to 3 a week for dance floor wraps for weddings and corporate events. That picked up pretty quick, like September of 2020, we were starting to do floors again. But the other part of the event industry, the other specific niche that we have, we're doing maybe 3 or 4% of what we did pre-COVID. So that had an effect, as well as just general business changes, to the industry. Supply issues, etc. Oh, gotcha, AD. Well, that's cool. So, I mean, if it's working for you, that's all good. Like I said, I mean, I really think it's been a blessing because, especially like right now where electricity rates and everything have gone sky high, I'm still paying less than I was paying, even with the crazy rates that we're at. I'm still paying less than I was paying between the home and the office before, obviously, plus the rent, plus taxes, plus, blah, blah, blah. So that part's been a blessing. And, being here and available, like my wife watches our grandson a lot during the day. So I can take a break and hang out with them or do lunch with them here or whatever. So that's been real good. I spend a lot more time with my wife now, so it's definitely worked out. Really, Eddie? I'm surprised. We need to hit that 1,000. I mean, come on. Maybe I'll tell you what. 888 likes on this video, and I'll do something. How's that? I'm trying to think. So, what should we? Okay, so a giveaway. I can do a giveaway. Maybe I'll do one at like 900. It's just a matter of what do we want to do or how do we want to do it. Do we want to do a live and do the random number thing? Do we want to do pick from the subscribers? What do you recommend? What do you think's good? I mean, I can think of a few things. So nothing huge. I can't do a press or anything, but be happy to do some smaller items. Heck, I could probably do multiples. I haven't seen some of the old regulars around. I mean, Rye jumped on when I first went live, but I know the challenge is a lot of our normal people that we know of through doing our lives are typically evening people. So, and I don't really do an evening live, so I'm usually doing it sometime during the day when I'm working. But yeah, anybody have good ideas on doing some giveaways? Let me know. Be happy to put something together. What's the LOL? What did I do? What did I miss? Alright, so this should be our last one to cut. Let's see where we are. Number 3. Alright, let me get back over here and see what's going on. If anything. No explanation on the LOL? Only one more like? Come on, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Give me something. Just shift them. I forgot I don't normally break these down so small for them. I normally leave them in strips. Definitely saves me a crap ton of time. If I'm going to do this, well, I should have just let the cutter do it. Any of you guys going to any of the ISS shows? I know that's kind of a different, slightly different industry for some of you. More of the imprinted sportswear type stuff. We still do some screen printing and embroidery, leather patches, etc. So we'll normally hit the shows. They're normally okay. Luckily, there's one close by in Fort Worth, so you should give away no more stickers. I have a naked dryer. Hey, yeah, we can do that. Heck, I can do that anyhow. A naked dryer. I'm assuming you're talking about a conveyor dryer. Yeah, I should not have done this breakdown. This is way too time consuming. I am not going to do this for all of these. Just this batch. Otherwise, we're just going to go back to getting the strips. I don't know why, I just wasn't thinking when I started cutting, so like I said, you get off your normal routine by going live and just doing something different. Not paying attention quite in the same way. Okay, so these are the only ones that are going to be like this. Let's see. These are the notable supporters. Notable. Conveyor dryer. Mike, give a Racoma referral code. You know what? I do not. I haven't gone through the process with Racoma. You don't get much. You don't get much often. We don't get much, but I should probably do it. I've definitely had people private message me and tell me that they've done things because of my videos, so it's kind of silly that I haven't after these years, but are you going to be ordering one, I guess? I mean, I can always follow up with them if you're not ordering like right now. See about getting one set up again. I had started going through the process years ago, but I just never followed up. Oh, well, thanks, Eddie. Yeah, that's the saving grace, really. Just make sure you're careful with it, because if you read the fine print, it's like 20. I think it's 26%. I don't know what the rate is today, but it was like 24 or 26%, and it's compounded, and like you're at zero right now, but if for some reason you're at all, like you're a day late on a payment, then it's all retroactive at like the 26% compounded interest. So just make sure that you're careful with that. But yeah, I'll be happy to go check on that. If you want, remind me when I get done with this or later, whatever, just shoot me a reminder. Haven't done a lot of embroidery jobs lately. It's been a lot of smaller stuff, you know, 8 to 20 shirts at a time. But then, you know, we'll get the random, you know, I need 100 caps or I need 100 and something shirts or. And then, of course, during the holidays, we kind of do random stuff. A lot of our B2B customers that just want something private, you know, or not private, but, you know, personal. Like we've done blankets and bags and golf bags and stuff like that for smaller, you know, for businesses that want to just give away a good gift to employees or to whatever. And those are typically smaller orders, but they're existing customers, so no big deal. I don't mind. I've got a backpack here right now that he was originally wanting it embroidered, but the problem is that the space that we've got to work with, you can't really hoop it. So I just did a bunch of patches, I just did a bunch of leather patches on caps for him. So I'm like, hey, you know, tell me which, we did a combination of different colored leathers. So I'm like, tell me which one you like, and we'll do a bigger version and we'll put it on the backpack. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Eddie. Are you looking at the multi-head or are you looking at the single? What's nice now is they've got that 3-head. And it's a nice size. It's got the newer software, the newer screen. I'm definitely glad I got the 2-head, even though it was more money, but it just, you know, when you're doing the bigger jobs, good Lord, does it help a ton just to have even 2 heads, you know, cuts your job, cuts them down to half the time. And the fact that it was not double the money and it's not double the space. I'm not sure what the price on the 3-head's sitting at right now. Be interested to know, actually. Because it's a nice tight machine as far as like space is concerned. And there's really not, I don't think there's anybody else doing a 3-head. Okay. Another batch, stripes ready to go. Let's see, I don't know, that's a distinguished, it's a different set. I need to kind of bundle these. Missed call. Somebody was apparently calling my phone and I missed it. Alright, let me check my messages here. Want a multi-head, but a first industrial commercial machine might have to go with a single head, not sure how reached out. Thinking for pricing, definitely want to do hats. Yeah, for sure. I would say we do, on average, I've done more hats than flats. Although I definitely like doing flats better. But definitely done more hats. And they can be challenging. You know, I'll go through batches where it's like, they're great, no problem. And then I'll go through batches where I'm snapping needles like crazy. It's like, come on. It's very hooping sensitive. But yeah, the multi-head was worth it in my opinion. Well, when I bought. You know, my thinking was if you're going to go with a single head, then maybe, you know, just to try and conserve space and money, then maybe look at just a used Tajima, you know, something like what Rye got. I mean, I know it's old technology, but, you know, it's like anything else. Whenever you get used to it, it's not that big a deal. I know for me, it would be really odd to go back to a machine like that where, you know, I've got a regular, you know, I've got a touch screen with a Ethernet connection that's tied into my network, and, you know, I don't have to do flash drives or floppy conversions or, you know, and listen for weird tones and numbers on the screen to know what modes I'm in. But there's no question they make a good machine. Alright, let me see which ones are these? These are the honorary. Let's see. Those are the distinguished. Distinguished. Okay, so I've got, yeah, so I've got 2 sets of distinguished. All right, here I'll move the camera a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's a challenge. 2017 Gruden for 10,000. Yeah, I mean, I see a good amount of Tajimas out there, but they're not typically single heads. And the single heads that I've seen a lot of are the ones that, you know, they're still old school. You still have to do the conversions on them. They still have floppies, you know, that kind of thing. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure where the Racoma is right now. I don't check. Sorry about that. I mean, back when I bought, I want to say the single head was around 15 something. And the dual head was like 20-ish, 20, 21. I think it was 21. So for the extra $6,000, in my opinion, was well worth it. But, and then now I thought the 3 head was only like 24, 25, the 3 head. But I'm not positive about that. And again, prices have probably changed. So. You could always buy one of those, what's that other brand? The, crap. Another one of the Chinese brands. It's the one that Waldo got. You got like a dual head from them for like $8-9 grand. But haven't exactly seen many videos from him about it either, so I don't know. Honorary. Yeah, is it who? Yeah, that's right. It is like Haiewah or something. It's like a weird name, but there's a lot of them out there. I mean, it wasn't like they're a one-off. And what's cool is their single heads they have in stock around the country. Like they have them in stock in Houston actually. For me, for me that's close, right? You know, it's like 5 hours away. But they're dual heads, they're multi heads. The closest they're going to have them is California, so it's like you're back to regular freight. It's not like you can just drive down there and pick them up, save your freight cost. I can't remember what part of the country you're in either, so. Michigan, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's something up that way or not with them. I know there's a support or like a Facebook group for them. No idea what the feedback is or how many people there are or any of that stuff. I'm sure it's nothing like Racoma or the other groups. Yeah, that I can't tell you. I mean, yeah, I haven't kept up with the tech side, but you know, I know that people have said there's more techs, obviously, but I guess that's all relative. What I found is like the guy that came into my training, since I got the two head, I got the free on-site training. He's just a general. He rebuilds machines and does training and sales. So he's got all kinds of other machines. You know, so he knows Tajima, he knows Browardon. How good he is, I can't tell you. But you know, luckily, when he came to do my training, he was all excited because, you know, I already had the machine up and tested, and, you know, he just did all my tensioning and kind of went through the basic software stuff, and that was kind of it. So he loved it because, you know, he had somebody with experience, knew the science side, knew the design side. So he wasn't there but maybe 4 hours. And that was right after we moved into the new building for the month we were there. So that was in like, I think the machine came in January of 2020. So I had it shipped and freighted to the new location. So it just sat in the warehouse until we were finished the remodel and moved in. And so I think my training was in March, right after I moved up there, so it was like 2 weeks before COVID. Quote unquote. Okay, let's see what we got here. So these are distinguished. Alright, so these are distinguished, honorary, and notable. Alright, so we've got everything done. Just going to stick some rubber bands around these just to kind of separate them. Okay. And we're pretty much, yeah, so, how long did I say? Yeah, 1:39. I said it'd take about an hour and a half. Pretty good guesstimate. Well, anyhow, guys, I am going to finish this up, go inside, answer emails, get caught up on some design and some other stuff that I got to get done. Probably do some more printing, I'm sure, since I haven't been watching that either. And I'll catch you guys on Discord. So jump on Discord. I will update the description of this video after we get done with links to that for anybody that's not on on the Discord. But it's great industry chat. We're kind of all there all the time, on and off. So, and like I said, hit that like and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys. And hope you guys have a good one. And I will talk to you next time. Take care, guys.